Well, the scoreline was what we all expected, but my God, that doesn't tell the story of that match from start to finish. But European football is still on the cards. The Sheffield United match forthcoming on Newcastle. Want to do us a favour and make sure you stick around. Alexa, define game of two halves.
A game of two halves is used to say in football when a team plays better in each half of the game. An example: Newcastle versus Sheffield United was a game of two halves.
Really got to pull our fingers out in this second half. We're so lucky that it's only a draw. Things surely can only get better, and those could be my famous last words. We want Welcome back to Black White Banter, you lovely ladies and gentlemen, in what is quite a nice sunny day-ish, kind of, was sunny. It's match day, it's Sheffield United, it is the game, out of any game this season, that you would expect Newcastle to get 3 points in. And if I've said one thing this week on live, I am live now, Black White Banter does do YouTube live.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Keep an eye out for them. Couple of technical issues whilst I learn the ropes, but I am starting to get guests on and whatnot. If there is one thing that makes me feel uneasy as hell, even when I went to bed last night, it is a match being called a banker. I don't like it. I don't think there's any guaranteed thing in football. We've been beaten in the FA Cup, the League Cup over the years. Newcastle has a habit of doing a classic Newcastle and losing matches and being underwhelming in matches that they should win. And Sheffield United today have conceded, I don't want to run through too many stats. They've conceded the most goals this season, 92, which is ridiculous. They've scored the least, and they've got the deepest defensive line out of any other team. So I think Sheffield United today will set up unlike anyone we've seen. Luton didn't do it, they came out and attacked us. Teams like Bournemouth came out and attacked us. There's not many teams that have tried to set up for a point at St. James's. And in previous, the last year or so, that's been a problem. I think we're a different animal this season with Isak and Gordon and even Barnes, if he starts today. So very different team to go against the defensive side. But it's simple. Don't win this football match today, we don't deserve European football. Any talk about European football should be absolutely extinguished. You get what you deserve. The league table doesn't lie, and if you cannot beat Sheffield United at St. James Park in front of a packed house at this stage of the season, you do not deserve to be getting your passport out. It's as simple as that. We've got a job to do today, but I think it's fair to say that you should expect a good performance. I don't want to just see us limp over the line against these after Crystal Palace on Wednesday, which was really, really bad and really, really frustrating in my opinion. They were good, and I've talked them up. They were very good, but we were really bad. And things have to improve at the business end of the season. Anyway, I'm going to go and find Mr. Coldog. He's floating about somewhere, get his opinions, wait for the team news to come in. But let's get into these Eddie Howe's banker mags. Before I speak to the Coldog, though, did you really think you were going to get a match vlog without some black and white banter? Stats. United have won 7 of their last 8 matches against Sheffield United, with the only defeat being a 1-0 away loss under Steve Bruce, with a team that you might remember that was one of the worst days under an awful manager that I can remember for some time. We were god-awful that night. If I can get the team, I'll put it on the screen, but our record against these is pretty good. Gordon, running down the wing, Gordon has been involved in 15 goals, 9 goals and 6 assists. He's the first player to be involved in that many since Alan Shearer, who got 18 goal contributions in the 03-04 season. That tells you everything about the form of the man. Absolutely class, and long may it continue. Right then, just outside Shearer's Bar, absolutely chock-a-block. By the way, if anyone doesn't know, Shearer's Bar is the only bar in town for 3 o'clock matches that actually shows the game. So just anyone who's ever in Newcastle and thinks the 3 o'clocks aren't televised, in that lovely establishment behind me, it actually is. So team news is out, but before we talk about any of that, of course I've met up with a very, very well-known face on these videos now. Maybe for good reasons, maybe for bad reasons. It's Mr. Coldog. Just going to slide him in there. First and foremost, very quickly, how are you?
I'm very well.
So you've got your own.
I've got my own. Disappointed.
I'd be a bit low, that actually.
Just disappointed with midweek, because as I said on one of the videos we've done before the game, I was so confident, and disappointed because it was probably the second worst game I've seen this season for us.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
but that's today's got to be a major positive. You know, we should play really well. I am personally expecting a good scoreline. But these are really good away from home, but they've got nothing to play for because they're getting relegated.
Well, this is the scary thing. So lots of talk about, I started this video, lots of talk of banker. I don't like that word in any Premier League match, whether it's an FA Cup match, a League Cup match. The word banker scares the absolute living shits out of me. What are your thoughts? Is this a banker?
You're scared in case you say that the wrong when you said banker.
No,
Yeah.
I'm scared of the word. I know it sounds like I'm saying something else. You're a bit of a banker sometimes. Sorry, go on.
Makes two of us. Truthfully, it's a game that its expectations are that we should be winning with ease.
Yeah.
Opposed to going away to Man United and battering them 3-0 in the cup when you don't expect that when it happens. But this is, for me, I will use the words, this is a banker. We've won this today. It's a turn-up case for them because they're just now enjoying the rest of the Premiership. I'm in deep trouble after this match because I know what he's going to do.
I think the whole Newcastle supporting community is going to feel like someone's just chucked an egg off their head if this doesn't go well today.
I've
never heard you say this is a win today. I'm giving you that. You don't need that.
I think we'll win 3-0. Isak will score 2.
I've said 3-0. So great minds think alike and all that. Great minds think alike. Right. So there you go. It's a clean sweep of wins today. Are we going to get European football?
Yeah, we'll get Conference League or Europa League.
Conference League or Europa League. Some European adventures next season. I like the confidence. I'm going to let you get inside St. James Park now because I'm keeping you. I think your dad is looking pretty impatient. So go and get yourself in. Fingers crossed for 3 points. Half-time, just finished my beer. I could have done with 6. What was that first half? I'm not normally that negative. Anyone who watches my videos knows I'll try and always be a bit level-headed. That was shocking against one of the worst team in the league. They could have been 4-1 up. That is not an exaggeration. We've played into their hands. They will be really happy with the pace of the game against a weak, fragile team that's about to get relegated. The intensity was important for us today, and it hasn't been there. Passing has been just as sloppy as Crystal Palace. We haven't really got going. One pass for them has cut us apart, and I don't know what to say after that first half. I'm almost speechless. He's a great goal, one pass, bang, he's in. But I've never known a more muted celebration in St. James Park from an equaliser. He's carrying the ball to the centre spot tells you the whole story, because he was probably a bit embarrassed. I'm not saying Sheffield United aren't capable of scoring goals. That would probably be a disservice. But that was just really bad. Elliot Anderson, who's been really good for us, it was bad. Our whole midfield, Bruno's never got started. That Brazilian flag display hasn't done him much good. Really, really sloppy. This is turning into a really bad week. We've really got to pull our fingers out in this second half. We're so lucky that it's only a draw. Things surely can only get better, and those could be my famous last words. My God, it's days like this I think I wish we could drink in the stands. On to the second half. Barnes maybe to come off the bench. Away, Eddie Howe's Mags. Right, I'm just joined by Heather, who's just taking in the lovely views of Newcastle when I rudely interrupted. She's there, just enjoying a bit of a moment. Good win, game of two halves. What were your thoughts, first and foremost, on that match?
first
If you
half.
just hold it just a little bit close, that'd be great. Yeah,
First half shocking.
it was.
But when they got the gears going,
Mm-hmm.
it was better to watch. But it was just it was a good game, good result.
And was it, with it being the business end of the season, if you want to word it that way, was the result just more important, or were you a bit disappointed that we were playing the way we did in the first half against a team like Sheffield United?
Bit of both.
Yeah.
Kind of agree. It was just like you would have hoped for better, but the 3 points is better. So
Who was your man of the match today? Which is cause I've asked a couple of people so far. It's been a bit of a difficult question, that one today.
Bruno, I think he bossed it.
Inspired by the Brazilian flag.
I think so. Yeah.
Wonderful. European football now. We've got Burnley away next week, who did us a favour today against Man United, as far as I understand, by nabbing a draw. Away form isn't great. We've still got Brentford, Brighton and Man United obviously to play. Are we going to get European football? First question.
It would be nice too, but I don't think I'd be disappointed if they didn't. Like, I wouldn't be disappointed if they didn't, because you need to strengthen the squad, so we're in a better position to go forward.
Oh, so would you maybe prefer, is that you kind of saying you would prefer not to have it next season or not?
I'm not saying no,
Right.
because it's nice. It's been nice to get to the games,
Of course.
but you need to strengthen the squad. So I think it's a double-edged sword, if you like.
So I know you've just been a bit in the middle ground, so do you think we will get European football?
I think we will.
Right, and is that Europa League or Conference?
Europa, I think, will be better.
Ooh, right, so you thinking top six?
Yeah.
Which I think in the circumstances would be remarkable. With the injuries, it would be remarkable. Right, well, I won't keep you anymore. Thank you very much for your time. Joined by Colin. He's just pestering us at this point.
Are you allowed to swear on this?
If you want to.
Fuck off. I'm not supposed to swear. Come
Right, bizarre game. I mean, I'll give my thoughts at the end of this video as I normally do. Colin, try and sum up what was a big definition of a game of two halves.
Very much like the Fulham game, first half, where they actually took over and they played really, really well. For me, we couldn't have complained. It was 3-1 first half. There's no two ways about it. We rode our luck a little bit. Second half, we seemed to wake up, seemed to play a lot better football. I'm not going to point out and badmouth any players, but I think Eddie done well in taking certain players off and changing them over. There were certain people who really turned that game around for me. But overall, we deserved to win that. And like I said to you, this was a banker. And it had to be in a great result. The fact
You're just relieved at the start of this video didn't go.
Confidence was overwhelming.
Just to clarify, ladies and gentlemen, I did get told after his prediction to not share it if it went badly
You're
wrong.
full of shit. I said 5-0 with an Alexander Isak brace, a 5-1, so I wasn't too far away from it. It's fortunate if I saved me money, I didn't put a bet on. But yeah, great result. We can't complain about that whatsoever.
So are you going to ignore the first half performance and focus on the positives in the second? Is that what you're going to do from today?
Don't you think we have to, though? Because
it's business end.
We can go on that and say how bad we were. We were sloppy. What we didn't do, Spurs game, we closed them down constantly.
We played into their hands today.
This week it was unbelievable today. There were certain people playing today who played really well. There was others, it took them a while to warm up. In fact, it wasn't until the 29th minute we came alive. And then we came really alive the second half. That doesn't mean we were brilliant in the second half. We were just a lot better team than we were the first half.
Burnley did us a favour today with their results, as far as I understand. Yeah, that's who we've got next week, which will not be in our away form is dire. No, it won't be an easy game. Where's your thoughts now? I do check in with you quite a lot on European football.
Yeah. For Europe, I still think I think we've got Europe depending. I don't know what league it's going to be, Europa or Conference.
Are you bothered?
Nah.
I think we've talked about this before, actually.
No difference, to be honest with you.
It means that we drink beers abroad. That's all that matters, isn't it? But yeah, we are going to get European football.
Yeah. No, I think we'll get it. I still think we'll finish above Man U. I think we'll finish 6th.
That was going to be my last question, Will, because it's mental to think we've never finished above Man United in our Premier League history.
Have we not?
No, we haven't.
We haven't.
Where do we start with that one? I'm kind of on the fence, and I'm not normally I shouldn't be after a 5-1 win. I should be dancing with my pants off, going to get a beer with the lads. And it's just a weird one, and I am going to try and focus on the positives, because I think after a match like that, which is the most bizarre 5-1 you will ever see supporting this football club, there are fans that have come out feeling a bit deflated. The atmosphere today did not reflect 5 goals. It really didn't. It was nuts. And that was probably because we all expected it to be a banker. And I said how worried I was. really worried. Like Cold Dog telling me that we will win. I hate talk like that in a Premier League match. Anyone can beat anyone. And the first half was just a shock to all of us. We never got going, we never got started, there was no intensity. And Sheffield United were probably gobsmacked at how we played, because they're a team that wouldn't have been able to deal with Gordon running up their arse and Isak and Bruno pushing on a couple of yards. And that intensity from left back and right back, from Livermore and Hall, that's exactly how we should have set up to start this match. And we would have had them buried early. And we didn't, and it was a slow tempo game. Our passing was sloppy again. It was just Crystal Palace and carried in. Like, you know, when you get a hangover when you've been out, like on a big bender, and it carries into Monday at work, then it carries into Tuesday and you don't shake it off. That's what I felt like I was watching in the first half. And Sheffield United, I'm not exaggerating, I mean, I'll watch the highlights back. They could have been 3-1 up at half time, they could have been 4-1, and some of our defending was worrying. The goal was too easy, in my opinion, from that cross. It was just everything that was pumping in, and one pass between the lines is worrying. I mean, my God, how long much have we talked about needing Joelinton, needing Tonali, that midfield to really bulk it out a little bit. And Sheffield United were just finding space all over the pitch. And it's no surprise when I watch us more recently that players like Eze on Wednesday were finding so many gaps to pull the strings. Because that's where we struggle. Anyone who roams, we don't man mark, and that's a risky strategy. But Longstaff is pretty much like us playing with 10 men. And, you know, I'll touch on players in a second. He is. And it was just a really bad half. And I'm down at half time. I mean, obviously, you've already seen it on this video. That's the weird thing about this match. And I'm concerned. I'm sipping my beer thinking, what the hell? Are we going to win this? This is worrying. This could be our European chase over against the worst team in the land. And it was a massive concern. And then second half, our time, it just to walk up, bang, job's a good one. 2-1, bang, happy days, wonderful. And I'm over the moon. Sorry, I'm just getting some strange looks there 3 times. You're in, you're in. Sorry, you really wanted to be in that. You look back about 6 times. Yeah, second half I come out and bang, job's a good one. And it just went from there. And the second half was exactly what we expected this match to go like. Sheffield United are one of the most fragile teams I have ever seen, and they got so much confidence from that first half. And they started to play, and they started to try things that I don't think some of their attackers have done all season. And then as soon as we got that second from Bruno, lovely little deft header at the back post, the floodgates opened, and my God, we didn't even have to turn it on. It was just chance after chance after chance. And to be honest, I think that penalty was the key moment. We get the penalty, and it's game set match after that, and we get another one, and we get another one. And there was some lovely goals. I mean, special shout out to Colin Wilson. That's one of them great on the eye goals. Absolutely bang, top corner, beautiful strikers finished. And that for me was Colin Wilson's way of saying, Isak, I know you're one of the best strikers in the land and everyone's absolutely creaming their pants over you, but I'm still here as well. And it was lovely. It was great to see him and them two linking up. Isak had a lovely header back for Colin Wilson. We saw that last season. Colin Wilson brought the best out of Isak. Isak brought the best out of Colin Wilson. And we turned it on. Eddie Howe made changes. You know, Fabian Schär came off. I hope that's not too serious, but he brought on Barnes. He didn't really get involved too much. Wilson was able to come on. And again, we're all daydreaming in the stands. The bloke who sits to my left, about imagine a Newcastle team where we had Tonali's and Joelintons and Willocks and all of these magical players, how different this season would look. And we got over the line, and the second half was much better. And then as soon as we went 5-1 up, it was like we fell off a cliff in intensity, but we didn't need to. And the atmosphere remained flat, and that was a bit of a surprise for me in the second half. But I've learned as a Newcastle fan now of God 20 years, you can never fully figure out why atmospheres are great sometimes and why they aren't. The sun was beaming down. I could have done with some factor 50 from someone. I could have fried an egg on the bloke's bald head in front of us, but we did. It was a good second half at the office. We got the job done. Individual performances for me, I would have to give a massive shout out to Alexander Isak. Lovely goal in the first half when we really needed it, when the going was getting really tough and we were all a bit worried. It was fantastic. One pass, bang, done, goal. Confidence on the penalty, always causing them problems, always on the shoulder. I thought Anthony Gordon woke up as the whole team did. I'm not talking about anyone putting in a good shift in the first half, because no one really did. Bruno wasn't his best game in my opinion. I know he scored twice, and that never happens. Very rarely ever happens, but I didn't think it was Bruno's best day. He was pulling the strings. The Brazilian flag was beautiful at the start. But I've got to give him a shout out, because again, he turned it on in the second half. And those would be my three. I thought Elliot Anderson had a really mixed day today. I've been singing his praises from the rooftops, and I thought he was a bit quiet. Sean Longstaff is Sean Longstaff. We keep talking about him, we keep feeling frustrated by him. Sean Longstaff did not put in a good shift today. Lots of people are really getting on his back, and I understand, because what we are watching is not good enough from him, and we are a man short at times. That's what it feels like. But he's playing with this injury, and we don't know. I still think Sean Longstaff, it's a very good point that we made on a video last night. He wouldn't be playing if we had all our players fit. Tonali would be playing, Joe Linton would be playing, he'd be a bit part player. He's played the whole season. You've got to take that into consideration, and you've got to take with a pinch of salt this injury he's had, but he wasn't very good today. Defensively, I didn't think, if you look at the first half, we weren't great. Dan Burn didn't have his best day at the office today, and I thought Lewis Hall, who came back in, he was quite bright. Now, where does this leave us? Well, we got the job done today. I said I wanted a performance. We got that in the second half. I'm worried about our away form, because Burnley, who've done us a favour today at Man United, is a very difficult place to go. But this hunt for European football continues. Our goal difference is fantastic. Hopefully that second half has given us a spring in our step. But with this Newcastle team, it's a Jekyll and Hyde, which you can say is fair enough with the injuries. You don't know what Newcastle team you're going to get. On to Burnley we go. Massive win. I will be analysing things in a bit further detail, and I would just like to do an honourable shout out at the end to the Newcastle fans who applauded Sheffield United off the pitch. That was a touch of class in what is a struggling season for them, and we know better than anyone what it's like to get relegated. It is not nice, and I thought that was just a lovely touch of class. Really, really nice. Newcastle fans, if you've liked this video, drop us a like, you whack that subscribe, get Black and White banter across all socials, and keep an eye out for YouTube lives. On to Burnley we go. The passport might just be keeping polished, but I tell you what, strangest 5-1 I've ever experienced. Away, Eddie Howe's European chasing mags. Oh,